If I was a magician, I would pull a rabbit out of this hat, but I am not a magician, and this is not a hat, so instead I have something much less cute to pull out of it. But anyway, we're about to head into the final level, the Pecan Sands, or the Pecan Sands, however you want to pronounce that word. I say pecan. I say tomato, you say tomato. No, wait, nobody says tomato. Well, maybe some people say tomato. Heck if I know. I hope they don't. So, the annoying thing about this level is that there are 2 points when you have to fight that stupid mini-boss, but you can avoid them. One of them is right below this point right here, so don't walk across that sand down there and you'll be fine. I don't think there's ever necessarily a reason to. And the other one is a little later on. Wait, hold on, I gotta beat up the switch first. Get this treasure chest. Thank you. Can I go up the same way that I came? Yeah, it looks like I can. I wasn't sure if I could jump that high, but apparently I very much can, and it wasn't that difficult either. This right here is another location where that mini-boss spawns. I don't know why they have 2 so close together, and also right at the beginning of the stage. It's kind of terrible, but thankfully they are easy enough to avoid if you know where they are. So, because I know where they are, I'm not going to bother fighting them. And hopefully I don't run into either of them by accident. Now this level has some of the more classic enemy designs. I don't know if that's really the right word to use, but there's something about the enemy designs in this particular level that I like. There's the word particular again. I thought I stopped using that one, but turns out that I have not. Wait a minute, no, come back down. Come back down, you cube of salt, or whatever you are. Like a dirty cube of salt. Yeah, this final level is a very suitable final level, because it has the most difficult of the trapdoor stages. This would not be one of them, but it does have big scorpers. No, but it does have some of the more difficult, we'll be seeing some of those later. One of them will be coming up pretty soon that I think is a pretty difficult one. But that's also the fun of this level. It has some very noteworthy rooms. Like, let's see. Oh, this one's a fun one. I like this one. Except for that part. I don't know if there's a better way to avoid that. There probably is, and I just don't know it. Another one of you already. The stone-cold statue in front of the ladder. Oh yeah, those things. They're weird. They're basically just totem poles of the senses. Because they have a nose and... or each of the totem sections has a weak point, eyes, a nose, and a mouth, and they all do different things. The nose is the most annoying because it keeps sucking you in. I wish that my nose worked that well. Stupid congested nose. Alright, is this the, yeah. This is the most difficult of all the single-room trapdoor areas. Because I don't actually know what the method that you're supposed to use to complete it is. There's the red crystal up there. I almost feel like maybe the developers just made this room and said, people will figure out how to do it. I don't think that's really what happened, but the way that I think you're supposed to do it really just doesn't seem like the way that you're supposed to do it. The only solution that I found is go over here, line up these blocks just like so, pound them, don't reach the loading zone, which is at the top of the room, and do a very properly timed charge jump. It just seems like this is... yeah, because that's the loading zone right there. You can't go too high or you fail. Again, this doesn't seem like something that you're meant to do. Maybe if this was Mario Galaxy and this was for a green star, then perhaps. But even then, I'm not sure. Crap. Did I ever mention that the music in these room areas reminds me a lot of Kuroshi's Suicide Salaryman? The Flash version. because it totally does. Oh, did I do it? Nope. Overshot it that time. Normally I don't overshoot it, but that time I did. Nah, the jump is difficult. No! I got it! I did it! I got it! I did it! I got it! I said both of those things at the same time and it came out as I dot it, or I get it. I don't remember what I said, but oh well, it is done. And also here's the level 2 boss, which I mentioned would become sort of a regular enemy in the last level, and there it is. There's no reason to fight it again, so I'm not going to, but it's there if you want a few coins, I guess. It has the same death animation that it does in the boss level 2 as well, also, in addition to. See, what's this one like? Yeah, this one's pretty much the same puzzle, but way easier. I still would love to know if the way that I did that other one is the intended solution or not. Please let me know if there's a better way to do it. Laser Jigglefish. Jigglefish, that's a good name. The laser Jigglefish are sort of creepy looking on the inside, because their insides are eyes, and they're big, red, bloodshot-looking, satanic eyes. Just, what is that? It looks kind of cool, but it still looks... You know what it looks like? It looks like if you were to take an eye and, like... I don't know, peel it inside out or something. I have no idea what eyes look like on the inside. I know that they have jelly, you know, because they'll shave your liver, squeeze the jelly from your eyes. Actually, it's quite good on toast. It turns out, I didn't ever know this before, but I can apparently quote a good bit of Shrek from memory, if I'm thinking about it, if I'm just typing it out. Alright, so this, for me, is probably the most notorious of all the... of all of these trapdoor levels. Because I remember spending so long here on a number of my subsequent playthroughs. Now I feel like I've kind of gotten the hang of it, because I recognize that these central pillars that are rotating don't have any spikes on them, and you can kind of just keep landing on those, so it's not so bad. Oh wait, I missed the boat on that over there. Have to wait for it to come back. Oh well. Yeah, I mean, this one really should not be difficult, but I made it very difficult whenever I was playing this for the first time, and the first few times. Okay. Almost fell to my death, except it wasn't really to my death, because you don't die in these stages, you just kind of fall and then you reset your location, and then you always hear the do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do part of the song again and again and again. But I got it first time that try. I think I reversed those words by accident, and first time that try. Here's the Unithorn's lair. It is another Unithorn's lair. This one has probably more dirty, oily water than all the others. Although I don't know if I would call this the worst one, because at least you can see in it, whereas some of them are pretty dark. I like the way this water looks, which, it's probably oil. It has that weird rainbowy effect that oil has. Makes me think of Rusty Bucket Bay. I love the way the Rusty Bucket Bay oil water looks. It makes me wish that I could bathe in oil, except no, it doesn't really. That would be kind of terrible. No, wrong way. This music is probably some of the most noteworthy music for me in this game. I feel like this is the music that should be, like, a new staple in the Wario franchise. It's just very memorable in my opinion, but... Oh yeah, I forgot the totem pole has a skeleton underneath it. That just makes it even weirder. As a side note, I don't understand why this pyramid is full of Bowser heads. They're just all over the place. There might be a way to avoid this battle arena. I don't think it's really worth trying to do it. So, we're just gonna stick with it. It's the last one of the game. Might as well make it count. So start counting. 1, 2, the number after 2. Yeah, so would this just be Bowser's pyramid? Is this a pyramid that Bowser owns, or are those just statues for decoration and they don't actually serve any purpose? They don't have any relevance to anything? That's what I assume is the case. I assume that maybe they just didn't know how to design the pyramid, and so they just said, we'll just stick Bowser everywhere, why not? People like Bowser. Bowser's cool. Fighting another jigglefish, another jellyfish that doesn't belong in the water. Which reminds me, another game that I've played lately, the most recent game that I've exposed myself to would be Splatoon 2. And I like it. The only thing about it is that I can't get used to the camera. The camera's really confusing for me, because they got Iron Cider. Iron Cider's a good boss. The only thing about Splatoon 2 is that I can't really get used to the camera, because generally in a third-person game, unless it's a game like this where you don't really move the camera around very much, I feel like you should be able to press left to turn the camera to the right, and right to turn the camera to the left in third person, but not in first person. In first person, I think it's more natural to press the camera left to rotate it left and right to rotate it to the right. Because my thought process is, if you were a camera person and you were always focusing on the character, or the actor, or whatever you would want to call it in this case, you would have to walk to the left to rotate the camera around them to see what's on their right. But if you were in first person, or if you were aiming or something at just something that's around the character, if you were the character and you were holding the camera, then you would move to the left to see what's on the left and right to move to the right. I don't know if that made much sense without having some sort of visual imagery to go along with it. This would probably be a better thing to explain in a game that has these features. But, yeah, that's just the way my mind works. And in the case of Splatoon, oh, well, I need to hit the switch. Hopefully I can still avoid the, dumb mini-boss fight. I'm not sure if I will be able to. Let's see. Crap. Alright. Well, one more for the road, I guess. Yeah. Splatoon has an option to reverse the H and Y, or X and Y axes on the camera control, but even still, it's like I never can get it in a position that makes sense for both the third-person camera and the aiming. You can't just have both. Why have I forgotten how to fight this boss? I'm supposed to throw things at it. Just shoot it, Fox! Let's go on a journey. Let's just carry this with us through the whole level. Wouldn't it be hilarious if I actually bothered to take this into the other mini-boss fight? I could. You know what? I've never done it. I'm gonna voluntarily enter this one, just because it's stupid to do this. I'm hitting the boss with another version of itself. And apparently it glitches out whenever you do this. It just keeps going up and down. I don't know the name of this mini-boss thing. That would probably it would probably be a lot better to actually know what its name is, besides just... instead of just calling it that one crystal mini-boss that keeps showing up. Because that's... whoa! I did not expect recoil from that explosion. See, Wario is a cool guy who doesn't look at explosions. Well, now I don't have to worry about being stopped by any mini-bosses anymore, because they're all dead. Sweet. We can just enjoy the level at our own leisure now. Yeah, I think my disc is probably scratched up, so that is why there's some slowdown, particularly in this level. I don't think that there's slowdown in any, just every CD copy of this game. And down the sand slide again. I feel like this would probably hurt a lot. Maybe not if you were running down, but if you slid down a sandy hill... I imagine that sand is kind of like carpet, where if you apply a lot of friction against it, then a lot of pain will follow. You get burned by it. Is that how sand works? I don't know. Oh yeah, we've got another molar here, and if we can get a good angle at what's going on here, there's a switch. So what we need to do is this, except better. I don't know why I'm so bad at this. I feel like either the A button or the R button doesn't always react the way that I want it to. And I don't know if that's the game's fault, or if it's the controller, or if it's neither. And also, pay close attention, because these spikes go back down after they come up. I think it's a little bit stupid. They don't need to do that, but they do. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. More falling thwomp blocks that you can't see until it's too late. Yeah, this game is a little bit questionable at times. Excuse me. As far as its design for things that you can't see coming until it's too late, but then again, I don't mind too terribly much because this game's consequences are not that great. So here's a nice area that tends to lag for me a lot. Oh, okay, maybe it's not lagging this time. Maybe it's another area coming up. Another golden statue piece. Let's not get blown off. Okay, here's where it lags for me. Yep. There we go. Just, let that sink in. Taste the slowdown. Doesn't have the same ring to it as Taste the Rainbow. And, yeah, that covers most of the level. Now we just have these shovel enemies, which behave the same way as the magnets, except they're a little bit more annoying in this case because you have to use multiple of them to ascend. And usually it does not work quite as gracefully as that, but that time it worked out pretty well. Have I done everything in the stage? No. There's definitely one... Well, we got our GameCube. It's always good to get the GameCube. I feel like there's a GameCube in just about every GameCube game. Because there's that GameCube level in the multiplayer for Mario Kart Double Dash. There's the super secret Super Monkey Ball 2 GameCube level. If you go through all of Master Extra in the classic mode. I think that's what it's called. I'm sure I could think of more. Okay, this is probably the Iron Gate that I have not yet entered. I don't know if there are any more. I think this is the only one. Come on, Jigglefish. Hey, baby. How'd you get a name like Jigglypuff? Alright. Is this the one I'm thinking of? I sure hope it is. Yep. I didn't even want to skip the opening there because just look at the majesty of this humongous area. And it's just one big maze almost. Not a particularly hard maze, but it tests your endurance. You have to make sure that you don't fall off the entire time, or else you have to start back from the beginning. And I had a hard time with this whenever I was playing this game the other night, when I got to this part. But now I've practiced enough that maybe it won't be so terrible. Looks like I can just jump across this regularly. And howdy-oop. I couldn't see where I was going. I probably should have changed the camera, but it worked out anyway. I like this part because you can just pretend it's a side-scroller. I like when games do something like this, where it's 3D until a certain point when it sort of plays out in 2D, like, I don't know, Mario Galaxy 2 has areas like that. Mario Odyssey, I guess, has those 8-bit sections that are nice and fun. Come back. Thank you. Yeah, wait. I'm not as used to this part, so I'm not completely 100% sure where to go next. There's the red crystal over there, but I know that there's something else that I need to get in the level, which would be the last of... Yeah, there's the last spriteling over there. Still gotta love how the instruction booklet referred to the spriteling as the enemy's enemies, so they're your allies. But the reason that Wario, like supposedly Wario wrote the instruction booklet, I guess. I guess that's what they were going for. I'm not totally sure, but he doesn't totally trust them. I'm the last spriteling prisoner. There are 40 of us all together, you know. How many did you save? I saved all 40 of you, I'm pretty sure. I don't think there were any left. I'm just gonna double... Okay. This is a good screen. I like this screen. This should be the video thumbnail. Just this screen. No, maybe not. But yeah, that's all of them. Still have a little bit left to do. I hope I didn't miss a... Did I miss a golden thing? Did I miss one of the golden hat pieces? Or the golden statue pieces? I feel like I might have. I'm definitely missing one because... Well, am I missing one? The statue looks pretty complete. I just don't have the... Oh, okay, never mind. Wario's nose is gone. We need to find Wario's nose. I have no idea where his nose is. Nobody knows where his nose is. I'm sure somebody knows. I just don't. I heard a sound. I think it's coming from right over here. This is probably the nose. Yep, I found the nose. Operation Find the Nose was a success. And we did it. Now we could fight this stupid totem pole, or we could do this. Gotta love that sequence breaking. I did this because I thought that would rotate the camera, but I don't know why I thought that. Whenever you're in the center of an area like this, the camera is very sensitive. Like, if I just step... Yeah, I take a step and all of a sudden the camera's the opposite direction. It's... not great. Normally I don't have that issue, but... it's a little bit of an issue with this boss fight. I still really like the concept of this boss fight. It's a typical head and hands Nintendo boss, but I think it's more unique than most. Something about this arena I really like. And the way that you... Well, I don't know if it's completely necessary that you slam into the ground to avoid this fire attack, but you can. I didn't do it successfully there, but... it is a means of avoiding the attack, and I think that's cool. It's like you wouldn't normally think. Something like this, which would normally not be to your benefit, is to your benefit in this case. Come on and slam, and welcome to the jam! Throat, stop being a Beanie Baby. I don't know why Beanie Baby is what came to mind there, but it was. Oh crap, well, I couldn't really do anything about that because I was already holding the rock hand. Let's try not to have any more game overs after this. I expect there to be more game overs once I reach the stupid boss after this, but we'll see. And there we go. Goodbye, Iron Cider. I've discovered that, whenever my controller rumbles, that causes some problems with, my audio editing. Because it doesn't make any sound in the audio recording, but it still causes lots of spikes. I don't know, it's weird. So I really should just try to turn off the rumble. But I don't want to disrupt the recording just to do that. Yeah, this frickin' boss. I am not a fan. What is its name? Let's find out. Captain Skull. Wow, real original name there, guys. Captain Skull. Alright, I'm randomly looking at the instruction book next to me because I have the instruction book opened to the page that shows Wario's insides. That is actually what it shows on the page, or the 2 pages. And Wario's weight, according to this instruction booklet, is 308 pounds. I got it wrong. He doesn't make the excuse that it's all muscle. What he says is it's all his clothes. Even though you're seeing the inside of his body, where clearly it's not just his clothes. I don't know. It's kind of good. I love the personality that they have infused into not just the game, but the things that come with the game. The things that most people probably do not care to read. Hopefully I won't have too bad of a time with this boss. It's just one that tends to give me lots of problems. Yeah, shoot your faces at me. Hopefully they don't blow up in my face. Like the little recoil there. The biggest problem with this boss is in the later phases. He gets up so quickly that you barely have any time. Aw, crap, I didn't throw him hard enough. You barely have any time to react, to go up to him and throw him, or what have you. Yeah, this should really be the final boss, because it's like, aw, crap, I didn't know that ground pounding was going to make that not work. And now I can't pick you up because your animation's over. Good. Alright, here we go again. I was about to say, I think this should be the final boss. Maybe not with this specific character design, but just this design for the boss fight. Because this is sort of like a final exam boss. You pretty much have to use everything at your disposal to defeat him. No, I missed. Do it again. No, that one's gonna explode. No, 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 no. Glad you're doing this again so soon. You're being very generous by shooting cannonballs at me. Hurry up. Hurry up. Okay, good. We've done it. Pile drive you into submission, punk. I enjoy the useless feature of the game keeping track of what your best record for highest pile drive is. It's good for bragging rights. Oh, did I miss something in that stage? I apparently did. I need to go back in and check what I missed. I'm glad I noticed that now. The last stage. Yeah. Alright. Well, I'll do that really quick. Alright, I figured out what I was missing. First I have to hit this button. Then I have to make my way back up, not down, up. I have to make my way up. Dang it! Up. Up at an electric eel. Up at an electric eel. And if I can just make my way up to this, and over here to the side, I believe this is, yep, this is where the final treasure chest is. And we just steal the Pyramid of Giza, I guess. We're even better than Vector and Despicable Me, because we just, oh, never mind, it's a small pyramid. Now on to the final boss. The final boss, the Black Jewel, which is a disappointing final boss that apparently in, I guess, the Japanese version is a little bit more impressive. I don't know if it would necessarily be better, but it is more of a final boss than this is. And the entire known world of Wario World disintegrates into nothingness and turns into this PNG. Now, the trick with this boss, there are two main attacks that it has. If it shoots fire bars at you and the walls are wide in their angle, then he shoots fireballs. But if it's narrow, then he does shockwaves instead, because you don't really have any room to maneuver for avoiding fireballs. And you have to do this 8 times. It's not 5 like a usual boss fight, it's not 3 like the first one, which I think might be the only one that only has 3 hit points. The boss fight really does not change at all during any of these phases. I think every other boss fight at least makes the attacks go faster. This one, every phase is the exact same. So it's kind of tedious. Not a whole lot to talk about with it. As far as I know, the Japanese version of this boss fight is different in that it has a second phase. I don't think the first phase is any shorter, but the second phase is a lot more interesting. It's like an actual one-on-one, hands-on battle with the Black Jewel, and it directly attacks you instead of just having these very distant attacks. But I guess the first phase of this fight is a little bit nice, or the only phase in this case, because it's got sort of a Banjo-Kazooie thing going where you have to save all the Jinjos, put eggs in the Jinjo statues, and then they fly into Grunty. It's sort of like that. And of course, if you don't save the Spritlings, if you don't save all of them, then some of these show up as crates or cages. You still have to rescue them, you still have to break the crystals that they're inside of, but they show up as cages. Which is especially interesting and fun in the ending. I do like the shockwaves, and I like how they form a big rainbow with all the colors that appear from it. What is it with my favorite GameCube games dropping the ball on the final boss? I like how it landed this time, though. I don't know why it landed upside down that time, but I welcome that. Okay, listen here.
I win!
That's how the game ends. Just, I win! I gotta love how stupid that is. Hello, orange forehead, with your eyebrows clipping through your hat because your eyebrows are so freaking huge. You did it! You defeated all the evil monsters. Everything will be alright now. This is my voice. Wario, we're saved! Thank you! The evil Black Jewel has been smashed to powder! Wow, that's a little bit harsh. But as a reward, we're going to rebuild your ruined castle. Blah blah blah. Blah. Now, if you didn't save all of them, they will all still do the dance, but some of them will still be in their cages. This dance is so stupid. It's kind of charmingly stupid, though. The music helps. And Wario has the most excellent face. His entire mustache twists at the end. And you never get to find out what his castle looks like. Except you do. It just happens after the credits. Yet another similarity between this game and Luigi's Mansion. The credits are bizarrely similar. Just with black background, scrolling white text, and these fading in and fading out images that indicate all of your wonderful journey. Just sort of like a photo album. It looks so similar, it's weird. That's why I'm wondering if this game used the same engine as Luigi's Mansion, and they just did a whole lot of different stuff with it. I almost feel like some of the sound font might be the same too. But anyway, Robert Box. I like that name. I like this game. I've kind of talked about my thoughts with it across the LP, but I guess I'll reiterate. Generally, I think this is, despite its sort of monotonous combat, there's a lot of fun to be had with this game. I think it's... I like its fast pace. I like the various different platforming challenges and the puzzles. I like the boss fights. Has a pretty bangin' soundtrack. It's got some nice atmosphere and ideas. I don't know. It's a game that I wish that more people recognized. But it seems like people have too much of a problem with it being too short, and they don't like how all the enemies are the same, and it's Wario, so automatically it's not going to get the same attention as a Mario game because Wario's a lesser-known character, but treasure video games, Nintendo. Do it. Why aren't you treasuring video games? Just generally, I like this game. And this is Wario's Castle. I probably should have used this as my reference for Mario meets Kirby whenever I drew the throne room, but I didn't. That's it! That's the stuff! Now that's the kind of place a guy like me deserves! You know he's serious because he used 3 exclamation marks. Good times. So thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you in whatever we do next. So long, everyone.
Welcome!